Here's your wrestling news for January 16th, 2026. Your headlines for today include Powerhouse Hobbs leaving AEW for WWE in 1 week. What really went down behind the scenes? WWE locker room reportedly unhappy about Hobbs joining, real reason revealed. WWE considering new general manager, celebrity GM Gimmick returning? WWE quietly modifies Raw format, fans notice big changes. Real reason big TNA stars missed AMC debut revealed. Real reason behind TNA Knockouts tag title change revealed. Former WWE star makes shocking TNA jump for AMC debut. John Cena shocks everyone by appearing at WWE PC Tryouts as surprise coach. Vince Russo accused of sending inappropriate photos to female wrestler, and more. Powerhouse Hobbs may have wrestled his final AEW match, and the situation between both sides has now come into focus. According to new reports from Fightful Select, Hobbs' contract expired at midnight, and while AEW made what was described as a huge offer to retain him, sources indicate he is expected to sign with WWE as early as this week. This wasn't a sudden decision. Hobbs and AEW had been negotiating for months, but he ultimately chose to test free agency. WWE, meanwhile, has been waiting for this exact moment, having held interest in him for years, dating back to the period when Dan Ventrell oversaw talent relations. Fightful's report makes it clear AEW pushed hard to keep him, and Hobbs appreciated the offer, but his decision to move on was deliberate. The split is said to be completely amicable, with Hobbs exiting on excellent terms. He wrapped up his final commitments by filming a Trios Championship defense for Collision Maximum Carnage, which is expected to air this weekend and serve as his AEW farewell. On WWE's side, Fightful Select specifically reported that internal confidence has been high for months regarding Hobbs' eventual arrival. The expectation is he will head straight to SmackDown, bypassing NXT entirely and debuting directly on the main roster. Fightful also noted that WWE is planning to rebrand him with a modified ring name, potentially simplifying it to Hobbs, which aligns with the company's recent presentation approach for incoming AEW talent. And because Fightful confirmed that his contract contains no non-compete clause, the door is open for him to appear in WWE immediately, adding even more intrigue to when and where he might show up first. Brian Alvarez discussed the situation on F4W Online, noting that WWE had been very high on Hobbs for a long time and fully expected him to make the jump. Dave Meltzer also weighed in, pointing out that Tony Khan's decision to keep Hobbs on TV suggests AEW wasn't completely certain he was leaving until the final stretch. Hobbs leaves AEW at just 34 years old, with plenty of career ahead of him. Joining the company in 2020, he became one of its most respected and physically imposing homegrown stars. His TNT Championship run, his reinvention with the Don Callis family, and his recent Trios Championship reign all showcase the value he brought to the promotion and why WWE believes he's a prime fit for their main roster. With AEW making a major effort to keep him and Hobbs choosing WWE's opportunity instead, this stands as one of the biggest talent decisions of the year so far. Now the next chapter begins, and the industry is watching closely. Do you think WWE is the right move for Powerhouse Hobbs? Are you excited to see him on SmackDown, or would you have preferred to see him continue building his legacy in AEW? Share your thoughts below. One of the biggest storylines unfolding on Raw right now is the escalating conflict between Adam Pearce and Bron Breakker. On this week's episode, Pearce officially suspended Breakker after the former NXT champion put his hands on him during a chaotic confrontation. However, Paul Heyman quickly fired back, pointing out that Pearce actually touched Breakker first, a detail that may now have major consequences. In the latest twist, Heyman claimed on Logan Paul's YouTube vlog that Adam Pearce himself is going to be suspended from his position. If true, this would mean Pearce would no longer be running Raw in a kayfabe capacity for at least several weeks. What does that look like on television? WWE could insert a temporary general manager or even cycle through guest GMs, with the storyline decision being handed down by the WWE TKO Board of Directors. This would give Raw a new on-screen authority figure while keeping the Pearce-Breakker feud simmering. There's already been heavy speculation that WWE is building toward a Pearce vs. Breakker match. If Heyman's claim about an upcoming suspension is accurate, it only strengthens the belief that WWE is heading toward an eventual showdown between the Raw GM and the unstoppable Powerhouse. Who, in your opinion, should run in Pearce's absence? Do you think WWE is setting up Adam Pearce versus Bron Breakker for a major showdown? And should Pearce actually get back in the ring for this feud? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. WWE fans have grown used to sitting through commercial breaks in the middle of matches, a long-running frustration that only recently began to shift with the Netflix-era presentation. Before that, picture-in-picture was the only way to keep viewers connected during breaks. Now, WWE appears to be taking things a step further. According to WrestleVotes Radio, WWE has begun cutting back on commercial breaks during Raw, a decision that directly addresses ongoing fan complaints about pacing and constant interruptions. The report noted that these changes quietly went into effect during this past Monday's episode. While Raw still wrapped at its usual end time, the show reportedly felt more streamlined. With fewer breaks pulling viewers away from the action, segments flowed more naturally, and the broadcast avoided the drawn-out stretches that previously disrupted momentum. The move suggests WWE is taking audience feedback seriously. Rather than dismissing complaints as part of the live TV format, the company has made a structural adjustment designed to keep viewers engaged and improve the overall flow of the show. If this change sticks, it could mark a significant improvement in how Raw is presented week to week. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. TNA Wrestling's major AMC debut was expected to usher in a new era, especially with AJ Styles kicking off the night, but not every name advertised was able to make the show. While Steve Maclin's absence immediately stood out, new backstage reports reveal that he wasn't the only talent missing from Thursday's premiere. According to Fightful Select, several performers were unable to appear due to visa issues that weren't resolved in time. The list included Lance Storm, Dani Luna, and a number of agents who were also prevented from making the trip. There was also a last-minute change involving Leon Slater. WWE reportedly expressed interest in using Slater for its upcoming European tour, which led to TNA pulling him from his planned match against Myron Reed. Reed was originally still set to work the date, but the match was ultimately cancelled. PW Insider also added that TNA had to rewrite and adjust creative plans for the show as a result of these absences. The specific details of the rewrites were not disclosed, but the issues appear to affect talent from the UK and Canada in particular. During this week's episode of TNA Wrestling, Santino Marella announced that Dani Luna will not be able to compete for the TNA Knockouts title at Genesis this Saturday. However, the title will still be defended. Lei Ying Lee, determined to remain a fighting champion, immediately issued an open challenge, and it didn't take long for that challenge to be answered. Zarya and Sol Ruca made their way to the ring, and the crowd erupted. Once inside, Sol Ruca revealed that Zarya would be stepping into the title match, calling her very deserving of the opportunity. Zarya wasted no time signing the contract in the middle of the ring, officially locking in the championship bout in Luna's absence. Despite the last-minute change, TNA successfully found a strong replacement for the Knockouts title match at Genesis. As for Steve Maclin, neither PW Insider nor Fightful confirmed that his situation is tied to visa issues. At this time, his absence remains unclarified. We will provide updates as more information becomes available. What's your take on Zarya getting a Knockouts title shot? Do you think she'll win the title? Let us know what you think in the comments section. The January 15th episode of TNA Wrestling was packed from top to bottom, and one of the biggest surprises came courtesy of a familiar face. Former WWE superstar Sonya Deville, now going by Daria Ray, made her debut as an authority figure, but she wasn't the only major arrival. Shortly after stepping into her new role, Daria Ray announced that TNA had officially signed a new knockout. Moments later, Elayna Black appeared on the entrance ramp, making her presence felt with a brief but impactful introduction. While fans didn't get much more than a glimpse, the message was clear: Black has arrived. Her showing up in TNA is particularly notable given the recent chatter around Cora Jade's release from WWE. Jade previously hinted that a TNA run might not happen anytime soon due to their ties with WWE, but Elayna Black's debut proves nothing was off the table. With her addition to the Knockouts division, all eyes will now be on what TNA has planned. This introduction under Daria Ray's authority hints that the company sees significant upside in Black and that fans should expect to see a lot more from her moving forward. What's your take on Elayna Black joining TNA Wrestling? Do you think she's finally on the path to winning a singles title? Share your thoughts in the comments below. TNA Wrestling's major January 5th debut on AMC came with surprises, title changes, and some big moments, but the biggest talking point was the inspiration dropping the Knockouts tag team titles. Now we finally know the reason behind it. According to Fightful Select, Cassie Lee and Jess McKay are officially parting ways with TNA Wrestling. The former WWE duo had not signed long-term contracts upon returning to the company and had instead been working under a series of short-term deals. With those agreements now expired, the title loss on AMC's debut wasn't just a storyline twist, it was the end of their current run. Fightful reported the following regarding their exit. The duo did not sign new contracts after signing a series of short-term deals with TNA. We are told that they were open to remaining with TNA, but ended up opting to finish up after this week. It was further noted that there is outside interest in Cassie and Jess, suggesting a return to a bigger stage, including WWE, is not out of the question. Their loss to Heather and M by Elegance marked a shift in the Knockouts tag division and came immediately after Mr. Elegance boldly promised on screen that his team would leave with championship gold. What seemed like a dramatic moment on AMC's premiere turned out to be real. With the inspiration officially done with TNA for now, the door is wide open for what comes next. Do you think the inspiration will pop up in WWE again, or is there another company that should scoop them up next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. WWE's latest Performance Center tryouts received an unexpected boost this week, courtesy of John Cena. On January 15, 2026, undefeated Mexican MMA fighter Regina Terran took to Instagram to reveal that Cena was the guest coach for promo classes during her WWE tryout. Terran shared a photo of herself alongside the 17-time world champion with the caption, "Today I have a promo day in WWE tryout. Coach John Cena." Cena's involvement wasn't announced ahead of time, making his appearance a major surprise for the prospects in attendance. As one of the most accomplished promo talents in WWE history, training under Cena, even for a single session, is a rare opportunity for any incoming talent. This round of Performance Center tryouts was already drawing attention due to its standout participants, including Joshua Hillen, known as America's strongest veteran, James Karnick, a highly touted Canadian basketball standout, Regina Terran, a 21-year-old undefeated MMA prospect from Mexico. WWE has been aggressively expanding its talent pipeline across multiple athletic backgrounds, and bringing Cena into the fold underscores the company's commitment to shaping the next generation with guidance from its most respected veterans. What do you think of John Cena helping train WWE's future stars? And could Regina Terran become the next breakout prospect? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Vince Russo made headlines this week after being announced as the new head booker for Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and he didn't waste any time launching a storyline built around some very familiar controversies in wrestling history. During the latest episode of JCW, Big Al Alice Crawley delivered a backstage promo that immediately sparked attention. In character, Crowley accused Russo of trying to leverage his position for personal gain, claiming he asked her for inappropriate favors in exchange for a push. When she turned him down, she alleged that Russo requested explicit photos and then sent his own when she refused again. Well, it's very simple. Russo asked me for some very personal favors in order to get a push, but when I turned that down, he asked me for some very personal photos of myself. But when I turned that down, he decided to send me very personal photos of himself. The segment took another twist when Crowley was asked to show proof. Looking down at her suitcase, she suddenly reacted in disgust and anger, shouting, "Oh, is that shit in my bag? Who did this?" before storming out. The moment was clearly designed to echo infamous backstage legends involving inappropriate messages and the notorious poop in the bag rib that's been told for years in wrestling circles. The angle is rooted entirely in storyline, but it signals that Russo, known for blending real-life controversies into wrestling narratives, is leaning heavily into shock-based storytelling in JCW. Whether this proves to be a creative spark or a misfire will depend on how the angle evolves from there. JCW hasn't commented further on where the story is headed, but it's clear the promotion is embracing a bold and controversial direction right from the jump under Russo's leadership. Do you think JCW went too far with this storyline, or is this exactly the kind of edgy direction their audience expects? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.